to get more deals, make more per deal, and probably most importantly, how to convince basically any seller in wholesaling real estate to accept your offer. That is right. So if you are out here looking to make more deals because you're going to close more, you'll want to make more money per deal, right? If you are sick of like making 5K pops, so if you're sick of not getting enough deals, I'm going to show you how to close more deals. I'm going to show you how to make more money per deal. Like, I think a lot of people started watching me on YouTube because I was 19 years old. This is how old I am. I'm an old man. I was so I'm 25. So 6 years ago, I got my start on YouTube because I was the only 19-year-old at the time posting $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 assignment deals and just, hey, I'm 19. Here's a $70,000 check. I was the only one. And I do this a lot. And I'm going to teach you exactly my secrets today on how to make more money per deal and do more deals. And probably the one you're looking to do is just basically to get any seller to say yes. Yes, right? That is the three things we're focusing on today. And probably a lot of people are shy. They're like, oh, I'm shy. That's why I can't get a yes today. And it's not how shy you are. I think the biggest issue, and maybe it's not all sexy written, I got terrible handwriting, but I make a lot of money wholesaling, is I think a lot of wholesalers have this main issue. And I'm going to put this in red. A lot of wholesalers out here are struggling to make more money per deal. They are struggling to get deals done because of one really interesting fact. And this is a fact I see a lot of wholesalers do, right? I see a lot of wholesalers struggle with this, but this is the fact of going out here and presenting your offer, okay? So presenting your offer is the biggest issue I see wholesalers making, okay? The presentation of the offer is the reason most wholesalers are struggling right now. And I hope you understand it's not about presenting the offer that makes you the money. I think a lot of people think just because they give an offer, they get money. And you got to understand that one of the biggest keys is how you present your offer, how you present your offer. That is something I don't think a lot of wholesalers really understand the importance of, okay? How you present the offer is way more important than how much the offer is. How much the offer is, okay? Let's be really, really clear, all right, guys and gals? How you present the offer is way more important than how much, all right? Do we understand the difference here? The main point of why I'm able to make so much money on my wholesaling deals is because I'm able to present my offer in a way that makes pretty much any seller say yes. It's never about how much, okay? That I think is one of the biggest misconceptions in wholesaling real estate is just like, oh, I'm offering too high or I'm offering too low and that's why they don't want to do it. That is not the reason. That is usually never the case. The reason why you are not making the money you want to make is you are presenting your offers in the wrong way most of the time. So it's how you present it, right? So we got to ask ourselves, let's do this in blue so we understand this. We can make it red, right? I can't really draw this, but let's kind of make a little diagram here, okay? I don't know, right? And then we got the little bone. I can't draw for anything. But let's just draw. Let's just write it down. Okay, let's make this a little easier for me, right? What is the difference between a $400 steak you get at like Nobu, and I'm embarrassed to say I've spent $400 I've spent $400 steak versus your $30 steak at Chili's? Okay, all right. What is the difference between the $30 steak and the $400 steak and the $30 steak, right? It all comes down to one simple thing. As a guy that spent, I don't want to, it's embarrassing how much I've spent on steak. The nicest steakhouses, all these things, I've been all over the world doing this, right? I've seen it, right? What's the big difference? The biggest difference between these, okay? The biggest difference is how they present the steak. Oh, I've told you. I've had some of the best steak of my life at a ranch, right? Because it's cooked the best. It's not about how it's cooked the best. It's all about how it's presented. Is there a short little Turkish guy with his salt that puts it over like this? That is the main difference between these $430 steaks. I have had all the different cuts. I've tried. It's how you present it. That is the main difference between these super expensive steaks that I personally found. They are absolutely ridiculous, but that is the key here. And the difference is how much of a value is in the person's head. And what I've personally seen is this $400 steak is pretty much the same. It's just how it's presented. And the cool part is, if you offer $30 for somebody's, 30 grand for somebody's house versus 400 grand, it's gonna be a slight difference here. But if you know how to present it correctly, that is the key to getting these deals locked up and to making a ton of money. And if you have a team, anything like this, this is actually how you start making money. This is how you start doing deals and start living the life of your dreams. So it's really important to actually go out here and offer the right way. Remember, it's not how much you offer, it's how you offer it. And if you know how to do it the right way, you put a little practice, you're going to be good. Now, what is my presentation? How do I get deals? What do I do? I have one singular reason and one singular way I make a ton of money in wholesaling real estate, okay? It is one thing that has changed my life in this business, but it is the term go for no. All right, think about this for a second, okay? If I can make one important point to get through your mind today of what I should be doing, it is go for no. This is it. This is what we are all dreaming of. This is all what we're all begging of today. If you want to start making more money, more deals, you have to go for no. You have to go out here and make offers that make you want to cry, that make you embarrassed, that make you upset. If you're able to do this, you will make a stupid amount of money wholesaling real estate. This is a concept I've done to get $100,000 reductions, to make 120 grand on a wholesaling deal, make 70K deals, 80K deals. Yes, motivation is important, the right deal, the marketing, of course, is super important. But if you can't close it, what's the point of getting good sellers and getting good leads? Go for no. That is it. That is our singular goal in wholesaling real estate. Now, I will tell you, we have two goals out in this business, okay? We have two specific goals in wholesaling real estate. Well, two goals for today, okay? If we're going to close deals, okay? If I'm looking to close some deals, I have two main objectives. I have two goals and only two goals, okay? Goal number one, let's put it, I can't read green too much today, right? Goal number one, okay? Goal number one, so make it all sexy and pretty. Obviously, go for the no. That's number one. I think this is pretty simple. I think this is an easy concept for most people to understand here, but if we're looking to close more sellers, when I go and make my offers, my number one priority and my number one goal is to go for the no. That means I need to offer something that is so low that I get the deal. Now you might be like, wait, how much should I offer? What's the calculation? What's the perfect? Okay, I'm going to share it all today. So don't worry. Don't get in a tizzy. Don't get all worried about this. I'm going to show you exactly how much we offer these sellers today too. Now, goal number two here, when we're here to close our wholesaling deals, I'm going to give you a $14,000 acquisitions closing formula, mentorship, whatever you want to call it. But my second goal here, it's not just going for the no, because what do you do when they say no, right? This is the second part. This is very controversial. Most sales trainers are going to say no against this, but I've made more money than you in wholesaling, so I don't want to hear about it, these sales wholesaling type people. But it is to meet in the middle. You might be like, what? That's right. Meet in the middle. This is a super important concept. And this is a concept I've used to make more money than anything else. Okay? The middle is where we actually make the most money in wholesaling. I know it sounds counterintuitive. Oh, but I read a book. It said, never meet in the middle, never split the difference, never do that. You're mistaken. You are supposed to meet in the middle. And heck, I can argue more and more about meeting in the middle will actually make you more money in wholesaling real estate than anything else. And if you actually go out here and start meeting in the middle, you're going to start making more money. So let me talk about, take a second, screenshot this if you want. because I'm gonna show you right now how to meet in the middle and how you make the amount of money you make meeting the middle is absolutely insane. I have made my 80, 90, 100 grand deals by meeting in the middle. And there's this specific reason why that we need to talk about, okay? And again, guys, I'm going to give you my 5-step closing formula today because you probably should get it. Okay, screenshot it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, are we screenshotted? Are we good? Okay, perfect. Okay, let's talk about meeting the middle for a second because I think it's a really, really important thing. I think we have a lot of bad education in wholesaling real estate because one guy, there's an important book, okay, I want to talk about. It's called Chris Voss. He's an FBI negotiator. He actually made a book called Never Split the Difference, and he was a lead FBI negotiator, teaches negotiating. Actually a really cool dude. He always says to never meet in the middle, and he's actually a very admirable man. I think he's saved a lot of lives, great person, yada, yada, yada. Now, let me talk about why you must meet in the middle. Okay, I'm going to tell you the difference between me and Chris Voss. Okay, sound good? Okay, let's talk about to meet in the middle. All right, a little bit, right? Okay, cool. Meet in the middle. Why do we want to go out here and meet in the middle? Kind of interesting strategy, right? So Chris Voss thinks, because this is how he does his FBI negotiations. Hopefully YouTube doesn't take this down. Evil man has innocent guy in a hostage situation in a house or like a bank, right? And you got Chris Voss, nice guy, and he's on the phone with evil man, right? And he is negotiating a deal to save his life. What happens if the negotiation, what if he goes for no? No more guy number 2. He is kaputs. So if he meets in the middle, or any negotiation, because this guy says, give me $1 million, this guy doesn't live anymore. That is how Chris Voss negotiates because he's an FBI negotiator. Yeah, makes sense. Now, this is probably has high stress of a negotiation as you can have. We're talking about people's lives here, right? This guy wants money, safety, guarantee I can get out of here alive and I'll save the guy's life, or he goes kaputs. This is how he teaches business. I'll be honest with you. I do not deal in lives. I deal in numbers. So if I talk to a seller and I offer 100 grand for their house and they say no, I can counter with, can I do 110? And I could still make a ton of money. Nobody's life goes, right? So that's the difference between a lot of these sales guys, because he's a very popular sales trainer. And that's basically, he talks about that book. And yeah, it makes sense not to meet in the middle when we're talking about somebody's life, but it's actually kind of stupid. So let's use 2 analogies here because I think this is the best way to kind of describe this linear path. Let's make this red so it makes a little more sense, right? But let's kind of look at a number chart, right? Remember in 3rd grade or probably 2nd grade for you because I was in Florida and we don't really learn much in Florida. But this is basically a little chart of numbers, right? We get lower numbers here and we get higher numbers here. So let's kind of make this 0 to $200,000. All right, makes sense, right? $0. All right, so this is a numbers table, right? Why do we meet in the middle here? Why do we do this in wholesaling? Okay, number 1, let's use cookies for an example. I like to eat cookies. Oreos are definitely my favorite right now. What kind of talk am I talking? Okay, so if I talk to a toddler, okay, I talk to a toddler, and I tell the toddler who's like 2 or 3 years old, how many Oreo cookies do you currently want for dinner tonight? And toddler says, I want to have 5,000 Oreo cookies for dinner tonight. That is how much I want. Okay, let's use the blue for him. He says, I first offers 5,000 Oreo cookies. And dad says, well, how about, why am I using money with a toddler? How about 2 Oreo cookies? Well, toddler's going to say, well, why don't we meet right here in the middle at about 2,500 Oreo cookies? And dad says, son, I read Chris Voss, and Chris Voss never told you to split the difference. Done deal. Shake on it. And now you buy 2,500 Oreos for your toddler to eat for dinner tonight. Who won in this negotiation? Please tell me. Who won in this negotiation? The toddler won because his demands were stupid. And he just met in the middle of stupid demands, he wins. Okay? So I hope you understand meeting in the middle isn't like a win for whoever meets in the middle. The toddler wins this one, right? So when I get stupid wholesaling guru coaches that say never meet in the middle, you've never negotiated with a crazy toddler. I have. So let's talk about wholesaling real estate for a second, okay? If I have a deal, and let's say the deal's right here, okay? The MAO is $160,000. MAO, max allowable offer. This is roughly what a cash buyer will buy for, let's say, this said house. Okay, let's use a little door. That's a nice house right there. Good stuff, Zach. This is the house in question, all right? 32,000 square feet, whatever you want to call it, Memphis, Tennessee. I don't even know, like, whatever. This is how much a cash buyer will buy it for. A cash buyer will buy it for $160,000, which means if I lock it up for $150,000, I make $10,000. If I lock it up for $200,000, I make no money. No buyer's going to want to buy it. If I lock it up for something lower, I make more money, right? So let's say the seller starts negotiations off at $200,000, and I go out here and offer something stupid like, I don't know, $80,000. All right. Seller's going to be like, bro, get out of here. Like, I will never take that low of an offer. Say, okay, well, you're at 200, I'm at 80. Why don't we just meet in the middle of our two offers and be at 140? And they're like, well, okay, that's a good deal. And then you make 20 grand. Well, if I just offered, let's say, cut that down, let's say offer 50 grand, and then they're at 170, so 220, 110, then we end up being at like 110 here. So if contract price ends up being 110, 160, that means I make about 50 grand profit. So just because my original offer ended up not being 80 grand, it actually ended up being a 50 grand. Because I just made my offer lower, I ended up going from making 20 grand to 50 grand just because I decided to make a lower offer and then split the difference after that. Therefore, lower offers, okay, let's learn this lesson today, children and adults. Lower offers, I'm pretending, I want to give this video to like, I got like a 4-year-old cousin. I'm trying to, we're trying to get rid of Caillou and Blue's Clues and put this on the TV when my aunt's not looking. So lower offers means more money, all right? Good stuff, right? So basically, the lower we offer, the more money we make on a wholesaling deal. Now you might be like, duh, Zach, of course. Okay, well, yeah. So if I make lower offers, I make more money in wholesaling real estate. Easy for you to say, Zach. I'm not good at talking to sellers. I don't know what to say to get them to accept it. But they're obviously not going to say yes to this. What do I do, right? So this is like where everyone's like, okay, I get it. Meet in the middle, make lower offers. But how do I make lower offers? What's the script? What do I say? How do I say it? They're not going to like me. I got an accent. I'm young. All these stupid things. Okay, well, just got to follow my system. This is my free system, okay? Guys, I am not going out here, all right? I'm not going out here and giving you some stupid stuff that doesn't work. This is the stuff that works, okay? So just understand this is why we meet in the middle. I'm going to give you guys about 6-7 seconds to go out here and accept. Out here, screenshot it, and we'll be good to go, okay? Screenshot, 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 okay? Perfect. I'm going to take a sip here. You guys like the new mugs? We got our Guru Tears mug. So we take the finest Guru Tears in wholesaling real estate. We drink it. Tastes good. So that's basically what we're doing here, okay? All right, refreshing. Gives me energy to keep going. Okay, we screenshot this. We're good to go. All right, let's go to the next part here. So now we know we have to meet in the middle. This is an important aspect. This is an important thing. This is a great way to get deals, make a ton of money, and do well, right? Okay, now we get this, right? Okay, gotcha. All right, so what do we do next? Ooh, how do I? There's a lot of racing today. Yeah, it's all right, cool, awesome. All right, more deals, more money, get a seller to say yes. Okay, now we know that we gotta make lower offers. We gotta figure out how to actually get a seller to accept our lower offer. Okay, so first and foremost, let's talk about this, okay? Number one, my rule for getting any seller to accept my offer is qualify, okay? This is really important, all right? And I've talked about this a lot, but if we just use the script MCTP, we're pretty much going to get through really any issue we have in wholesaling real estate. Now, if you make an offer to somebody that's not qualified, that actually does not want to sell their deal, that isn't a good deal, no bueno. Okay? Remember, before we give a lowball offer, we got to make sure that they are ready for a lowball offer. What makes somebody good for a lowball offer? Well, first we got to ask them a couple questions. Hey, Mr. Seller, why are you looking to sell your property? M, motivation. Why are you looking to sell your property? C, condition. Tell me a little bit about the house. T, time frame. When are you looking to sell the property? And P, price. What price you're looking to sell. We got to get some questions answered. We really got to see, hey, is this going to be a good wholesaling deal? Is this not? Are we dealing with a good seller? Are we not dealing with a good seller? Are they ready to sell? Are they not? This is just basic borderline questions I always ask a seller to make sure that they are qualified. So that's number one. Now, number two is something that I've been talking about forever, but this is going to be called conditioning to condition the seller. This is a must. This is what I call a rule. Okay, in freewholesaling.com, my free wholesaling course, it's free, by the way, costs no money. I have what I call rules. Rules cannot be broken. If you break a rule, you go straight to wholesaling jail. Straight to jail, straight to wholesaling prison. You have to, with every single seller, before you give them an offer, when you learn how to wholesale with me, you must condition the seller. The seller must be conditioned. Now, what is a condition? A condition is basically, you have to make sure the seller knows. When you meet them at the property, you go for an upfront agreement. This upfront agreement is basically asking the seller, hey, Mr. Seller, before I go meet you at the property, are you ready to make a yes or no decision on selling the house? This is really dang important. If the seller cannot make a yes or no decision, we ask them, when I go meet you, are you ready to say yes or no on selling your property when I see you? Are you ready to make a yes or no decision? When I meet them, I ask, are you ready to make a yes or no decision on selling it? If they say, no, I cannot make a decision because my wife's not in town, that's fine. Let me go meet you at a time when your wife is in town. If you talk to a seller and they say, no, I cannot make a decision on selling my property yet, we do not give them an offer. So you want to know how I get any seller to say yes? I'm shooting really good from the three-point line. Why? Because I'm not taking bad shots. If you take bad shots, you make less of them. Duh, basketball 101. Okay? If you have a seller who's ready to make a decision, the worst thing you can get in wholesaling real estate with a seller when you give an offer is, maybe I'll think about it. Whoo! Whoo! You do not want to get that. That's a bad, bad, bad idea. If the seller says maybe, which I'm going to throw up if I even put it on here because it scares me. Maybe. Oh, Lord. That thing scares me when I see it. I get chills. Halloween, every Halloween, I dress up as maybe. You know why? Because it's the scariest thing in wholesaling, okay? That and a guru, right? But if a seller says maybe, I'll think about the offer. Possibly. Oh, Lord. You're done. You're cooked. Because they're just going to go string you along. They're going to go to all the other offers. It's not a good idea. So maybe it's the worst thing. And the best way to avoid it is, hey, Mr. Seller, remember when you told me you were ready to make a yes or no decision the other day? Well, I'm fulfilling my end of my word. I'm hoping you're fulfilling your end of the word and being a man or woman of your word, because I'm a man of my woman. I'm a man of my word. And when I go out here and say that I'm going to do something, it gets done. So you agreed up front to make a yes or no decision. I agreed also to make a yes or no decision. So are you ready to make a yes or no decision? I did say that, didn't I? Boom. Seller closed. We're pretty much good to go. So it's very important, guys, we condition our seller. If we don't condition our seller, we're not doing well. So let's kind of get in here of exactly, step by step, my 5-step closers formula. Does everybody here want to see my 5-step closers formula? Because now we kind of understand how, we need to present the offer the right way. We understand we need to make sure that we give lower offers, go for the no, but you still might be asking, Zach, how do I give that offer? What is the script? How do I do this? So let's kind of break this down. I'm also going to share exactly how to do 10 deals in 10 days. It's another little bonus I'm giving everyone in here so we understand how to do it. Let me know, guys, are you ready to go? Are you ready for my 5-step closers formula? Screenshot this for a second. All righty, we're good to go. All right, so this is my special, super sexy 5-step closure system. I call this the go for no system. You see the money, right? So if we want to start making money wholesaling real estate, this is my system. This is exactly step by step everything you need to know about how to start closing every single seller possible. This is a $10,000 acquisitions, closers, mentorship, community, whatever stupid thing you want to call it. $10,000 right here in 5 steps. This is what I just basically do because I'm not a stupid guru. Let's kind of get in this and step by step it, right? So, number 1, probably most important, if we are going to close a deal, before we go for no, we have to ask ourselves, step 1, have we conditioned the seller? Are they qualified? Are they ready to actually give us a yes or no decision? We have to ask ourselves this. I think most people, yes, duh, of course I can condition the seller. Good stuff. We have to condition the seller. Very important. If they're not ready to make a yes or no decision, it is not a good wholesaling deal. Step 2, we have to calculate our offer price. Now, this is when people are like, well, how much should I offer? I make it pretty simple. I'm not a complicated guy because the simpler I make it, the more money I make in wholesaling real estate. I figure out what MAO is. If you want to learn how to do MAO the correct way, I have a free wholesaling course. It's called freewholesaling.com. My formula's in there. Pretty much it's ARV, freewholesaling.com is the word free, and then is the word wholesaling.com. It's ARV minus repairs multiplied by a certain percentage based off of the ARV, right? But basically go to freewholesaling.com. It's all in there. You go to zachdiscord.com. It's all in there too. But basically it's all free. I'm not here to charge you anything to learn this stuff. But basically calculate offer price. Figure out what your MAO is. If your MAO is 100 grand, we are going to offer off the bat 70% of that because that is actually going to be what we call our LAO. Now here at Flip of the Rick, here at my channel, Zach Enright, here pretty much if you see me or Rick or whatever, we don't focus on MAO. We don't think MAO is real. We think it's an imaginary ghost. We only focus on something called LAO. That's kind of interesting. It's kind of weird. But LAO is our least allowable offer. That is the least we can offer a seller to get a deal done. So LAO is very, very important, okay? LAO, least allowable offer, is going to be 70 grand if it's a $100,000 MAO, whatever you want to calculate, right? And then from there, we are going to do our good cop, bad cop offer. Now, I don't know, you might have never heard this, but pretty much this is my number 1 closing method. This is how I close pretty much most of my motivated sellers when I teach acquisitions people. This is just how I get deals closed. I love this method. I think anyone else in wholesaling actually teaches this type of method. I actually came up with this method on the spot because I started giving such lowball offers. Sellers got a little crazy with me, and I had to figure out how to counter this myself. And so I used my little ninja moves here and got it done. So basically, good cop, bad cop. What you want to do is figure out who good cop is. And good cop is always going to be, let's make it blue. Good cop, bad cop is always going to be me. You are good cop. You are always going to be good cop. Bad cop is going to be somebody else. So in this example, we're going to use Rick Ginn. Why? Because he's not here. Bad cop in this situation is somebody who is not at the appointment. Good cop is the person at the appointment. Make sense? So good. So me as the good cop, what I'm going to be is the good person, the person that is the advocate for the seller, the person who cares about the seller, the person that just wants to find a happy medium. Rick is the bad cop. He's angry. He's slamming the desk. He's like, right? He's the crazy one, right? He's off hinge and nuts, and he's conveniently not in the picture, right? If you ever see how a lot of these negotiations go with like criminals and cops, this has been done for hundreds of years and it works really stinking well. But pretty much what I do is I go to a seller and I basically say, hey, Mr. Seller, I was talking to my partner, Rick, when I was driving here, and he told me he wanted to buy the house for around $100,000. So I paused, I shut up there. And what I'm doing here is I'm basically gauging the seller without, I never gave an offer. I just said what my partner was said he was looking to buy it around. And what I do is I kind of throw a little grenade out there and basically see what happens. That's what I do, see if it sticks or not. And what's going to happen is there's going to be 2 nexus events, right? There's going to be 2 ways that little thing I just did go? It goes, number one, very well. And they say, 100,000? That works for me. Then from there, I'm going to say, well, that's what Rick says. And Rick's always really high on his offers, and I'm kind of more realistic. For me, I'm going to have to be I might have to be closer to 80,000. Slick, right? Now, that's about 10% if you're lucky. I'll tell you about 90% go like this. No, are you crazy? Get out of my house. And then you're like, wait, Zach's teaching me this? I'm going to click out of here. No. Okay, there's a reason why I say this. Your seller is going to be very mad when they hear this. You are going to go for a stupid lowball offer that's going to make you like 70, 80 grand, right? So the reason why I do this is because you're going to say this. Whoa. Hey, Mr. Zach, no. I am not offering you 100,000. I was just mentioning what Rick told me in the car. He didn't see the house. He didn't understand it's a little nicer than he thought. And he was just telling me rough numbers, what he saw, like after like a minute or two of just looking at the house on the internet. Obviously, I'm the one that makes the decisions. This is why I'm out here, because he's crazy. He always wants to get it for like a penny on the dollar. I'm the one who handles it. I'm the one who makes the decision. I'm the one that's actually going out here and talking to you. I hope you understand. He's not here, okay? He helps me fund my deals, but he is not here, and I'm the one making the decision, okay? I didn't offer you that. And just tell me, okay, if he's at 100 grand, like where are you at on the property? I'm trying to be the guy to find a happy medium between what we want and what you want. So what offer works for you? Because obviously 100 grand didn't work. What works for you? And then boom, he says 140, 150. So what you do is you kind of go for what I call here the soft landing. All right, I call it the soft landing. Why do I call it the soft landing? Because we're dropping hard. We just gave a stupid lowball offer. And what we need to do is have our little parachute, kind of land that plane a little nice, because they're going to be a little angry at us. But if we counter it the right way, like I teach you, you're going to be Gucci. You're going to be fine. But we got to have a little soft landing with that. And then we renegotiate. Okay, what works for you then? You kind of save it, and they're like, okay. And they kind of get you, and they're good. Then we get the soft landing, we renegotiate, and we just get a price that is under our MAO. And then we lock up the contract, and boom, you are great closer, right? You are one of the best closers ever because you are using this amazing system to get wholesaling real estate deals closed. It is not that complicated, okay? This is my go for no system. You go for the no. Okay, we make sure that they are ready to make a yes or no decision, because if they are able to make the yes or no decision, those are the only two possibilities when you offer that. When they say maybe, then you get a maybe, and then boom, like it's the whole deal goes kaput. 2, we calculate our offer price. We just find our MAO. We multiply it by 70%. That is it. Stop overcomplicating this. Good cop, bad cop. It's either they say, oh, wow, that works really well, or no, why? Get out of my house. Soft landing, renegotiate, and then boom, we lock up the contract. You want to get a free contract? I have a free contract at my course, freewholesaling.com, where I teach wholesaling. A lot of people hear courses. It's free, okay? I'm the only wholesaler on the internet to give out a free course like complete, and that's basically my go for no system. I'm going to give everyone a second here to go out here and give everyone a second here to screenshot this. So we're good to go. Are we screenshotting? Are we good to go? Cool. Awesome. So that's pretty much how we do it. Okay, this is my go for no system. You want to close sellers, this is it. 5 steps, pretty simple. Let me take a picture of this too. I'm going to post it on my Discord. So if you actually want to get a Discord, if you want to join my Discord for free, just go to freewholesaling.com and I'll actually teach you how to do it. Boom. Awesome. Okay, so that is not everything, because there's a couple more things we got to kind of have to talk about, right? Because I did promise everybody, how do you close more deals, right? How do you go out here and actually use this system for good? Because I'm teaching you a system to actually close a lot of deals, and more specifically, how to close a lot of deals in a lot of days with everything that I just taught you right here. So let me show you kind of my entire system here of doing this, all right? It's really not as complicated as it seems. Let's go here and close this. So we're talking about mostly how to close 10 deals in 10 days. Now, I know it's a crazy little challenge, but if you have a good closing system, you can do it. Now, let me kind of tell you exactly what you're going to see on the internet versus what you see on me, okay? Because I'm assuming you don't know who I am, and that's okay. So first and foremost, you don't know who I am. Why are we so far in this video and you don't know? My name is Zach, and I've closed over 2,500 wholesaling real estate deals. So I kind of know a thing or two about this, okay? I personally closed over 2,500 wholesaling real estate deals. Not myself, like giving 2,500 offers and they're accepted, because I have a pretty big team now. But over the past, heck, it's 8 years, geez. I've closed over 2,500 deals. So I think I know how to exactly make a system out here to get 10 deals in 10 days. So it's a pretty crazy system, but it's a system that you're going to use kind of these closing systems to get a lot of deals. Now, 10 deals is roughly going to be, just so we have good stats, if you're crazy, 10 to 15 offers, because you're going to have a pretty dang good closing rate if you use this system. Now, how do we get the system done? What's the best way to do it? There's only really one way. It's volume, volume, volume. We are going to have to push the volume to the maximum on this. If we actually want to start doing well, we need volume. And specifically, a deal a day is something that is completely possible, but we need volume, my friends, okay? If you do not push volume, you're not going to do well. So specifically, if you're somebody out here looking to make a lot of deals happen really fast with a really good closing system, this is scaling, anything like that, we are going to have to focus on really 3 ways: SMS, cold calling, and direct mail. This is really going to be our bread and butter for wholesaling real estate. Now, you see, I'm not talking about SEO, PPC, pay per lead, any of that stupid stuff, because it's pretty easy to make a video, say, well, pay $500 a lead and spend 50 grand, and then you got 100 leads and boom, close them all. Yes, you close all these deals. That's pretty stupid. Just being honest, these pay per lead companies are getting away. These new 2025 regulations are killing PPL. PPC is not sustainable in my opinion. I think a lot of people are kind of big on PPC. There are really, I would say about 2-3% of these PPC agencies actually can make them work. The rest have these crazy like 2-3 month turnovers. It's kind of insane. But really, this is bread and butter for wholesaling real estate that I have found people closing a ton of deals. This is where most people have success. So let's kind of put them in a little category. Okay, cool. Let's make this done a little better here. There we go. Beautiful, right? So if we're looking to do SMS text blasting, I'll tell most people we're not going to do very, very, very similar lists. So specifically, we need to do high equity, okay? High equity for SMS, high equity leads for our cold calling. And this is really going to be like bread and butter type stuff, okay? Like specifically, let's kind of get rid of the erasing here because they're kind of the same. If I really have to, a lot of your cold calling lists and SMS lists that work, pretty much going to be the same here, okay? So your high equity, you probably want at least 60% equity. If I have to go make this, right? It's about 60% equity for pulling a list like this. We're going to want at least 3 years ownership. We want them to be not MLS, not investor owned. And then let's do, and then basically below median home price. And then we are going to add government lists if we can. Roughly, if we want to create a huge SMS cold calling system, wow. Okay, that is a little off. So, no. So basically 60% equity plus our government lists, three-year ownership, not on the MLS, and below our median home price. That is the best way to kind of describe a filtering list for SMS and cold calling. Now, on top of our direct mail, we can basically do the same ones, except we want to add in probate letters. So if I can give anybody basically a little system for doing this, okay, we just want to be below our median home price. So if the average house in Dallas, Texas is $450, we don't want to do any calling, texting, mailing under $450, $500. Sorry, above $500. And we basically want to pull like just a large list because we need large volume. We probably, if you want to get crazy on a system, you probably want at least 15 to 20,000 on a list like this. So I'd say 15 to 20,000 of a list like this if you want to get crazy. Now it's not really that much. And really, the expense won't be this crazy. We're talking about doing 10 deals. We're not talking about getting your first deal. We're not talking about getting 5 deals like in a year, but like 10 deals in 10 days. This is probably roughly where we're looking at. And we just send postcards and probate letters to lists that are like this. Obviously, you want to pull them on X leads. Duh. Why else would you not want to pull them there? You're pretty much going to be good to go for volume. So if you want 5 steps to close any deal, the one in the back shows you. If you want to do 10 deals in 10 days closing, be the best closer ever in wholesaling, you're going to want to pull a large list, push it like crazy with SMS and cold calling with some direct mail. And this is kind of my perfect way to do it the right way. Now, you can also, if you want to get nuts, kind of add an extra couple ones. You can JV with sellers. I love going to, why am I so bad drawing today? I would also add, if you want to get crazy, ZachDiscord.com as my Discord. And you can find a ton of people who need help dispoing their deals. And just network in general. I was on a chat with it was pretty cool. I was on a chat on Zach Discord last night at like 12:30 a.m. I was brushing my teeth and obviously watching football or something. And I had 9 guys in there. And those 9 guys, basically 3 of them, had 12 contracts in total. Out of all of them, they were just talking shop. They could be clubbing on the weekend, except they were going out here on Zach Discord on the voice chats at night. Every night there's like a voice chat networking group. It doesn't cost anything, obviously. And you can just do deal. I mean, he said, we have 12 collective contracts. We need help dispoing them. Probably going to make 20, 30 grand working with them in one night because I just brushed my teeth hearing them talking the voice chat's pretty cool. But ZachDiscord.com is changing the game on networking, wholesaling, community-wise, absolutely for free. Love seeing stuff like this. So if you want to close 10 deals in 10 days, we need about 10 to 15 offers, 15 to 20,000 leads with these filterings at X leads. And we're going to JV on ZachDiscord.com. And again, after 2,500 deals, I have found this Go for No system to be the best system for closing deals, closing sellers, and making money wholesaling real estate.